All right, and welcome to another show here. Stay tuned with Troy and Howie, and we have a couple of familiar guests, and it is Kayla and Kelly Lutzwig from the band Wildfire. And hey, guys, welcome back.
Hi, thank you so much for having us. It's great to be back.
Yeah.
Good. I'm glad. I'm glad you
We
guys are
appreciate it.
back.
Howie, I'm going to correct you only because I know they're too polite not to. It's Yitzwig, not the L. There's
Oh,
no L
wow.
sound in there.
Oh, what? Okay.
Yeah, no one has it right, so I just go with whatever people say. I'm like, yes, good job. That's it.
All right. Sorry. So it's Yitzwig.
Yeah,
Yes.
got a little bit of German in there, so.
Okay. Well, we should be familiar with that. We live in like Pennsylvania Dutch German heritage
Yeah.
out here, so
Very heavy Dutch.
Yeah.
We even had grandparents that like spoke like Pennsylvania Dutch, like you
Oh,
know, like,
okay.
the old what were the old sayings, Howie? Like out in the lights and stuff
yeah,
like that.
out in the
Yeah.
lights and now once, all those fun terminologies that make us sound like rednecks up here. So, but yeah, guys, welcome. And man, Troy was saying before we started recording that you guys are kind of blowing up the scene, and I also want to kind of touch base with you guys because you guys were doing kind of like a crowdfunding thing to get your album up and running. And tell me what like went into that. Like what kind of instigated you guys to come up with that idea?
Yeah, well, when we first got started, of course, like we were funding literally everything ourselves.
Right.
And that just really gets super, super expensive, especially at the level at which we're doing things. Crazy. So we thought, what can we do to not only, be able to fund our artistic passions, but also give, the fans and like people who enjoy the music incentives and like things that they, maybe want to be a part of our process that we're recording and writing music. There's so many like they call them perks that we offer that just really, really allow like our supporters to get involved in the process. And I think that that's super important, not to just ask, but also to like include people and make them just feel very welcome, like in our artistic journeys.
Oh, very cool. And
You
yeah,
also
go ahead,
include
Troy.
them in the liner notes, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We
Yeah.
have producer credits, liner notes. They can get credits for like the photo shoots that we do. Like, there's anything you can imagine. Like, we offer it.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is awesome. So, and I understand too that Kelly, I think you had a recent birthday, 18 now.
Yes, on January 24th. I turned 18.
Wow. So now you guys are both officially adults. What's the
Welcome to
ultimate?
the joys of life
Yeah,
as an
yeah,
adult.
exactly. Yep. You thought you were in debt before. Wait till now that you're grown up and you're out in the real world, right? But like, what are you guys gonna do now that like, do you have like a specific game plan now that you guys are kind of both in that adulthood and now I don't know, are you looking to like even go even stronger than what you have already gone?
Yeah, I think that's a really, really interesting question and something that we're kind of addressing just as time goes on and day to day. We both are like super busy, but we're also equally as passionate about what we're doing, and we want to continue it in the largest capacity that we possibly can. So I
Okay.
think the best way I can kind of like that we've talked about is just continuing to do what we love while also achieving things that might be outside of it, music and everything. So collectively, I think we both have, side passions and side things that we're doing, but
Yeah.
we always come together and like love to do this. Would you kind of like say that
Yeah, I
that's...
think we have our separate lives from like this, and it differs like from day to day, but we're pretty busy, but we manage it pretty well because we love it so much.
That's what I was just gonna ask. Like, do you ever feel yourself getting stressed out or like or even stretched out? Like how can I be all these places at once? I got so much going on. I mean, Kelly, you're finishing up school. Kayla, I mean, you're really big into this fitness and health kick and stuff. Like, you guys have to be like, you don't ever feel overwhelmed at any point. Like,
Yeah, I mean, I would say, I mean, we've kind of been like go, go, go our entire lives. Like I've done
Yeah.
dance. I did dance like from the ages 3 to 14,
Mhm.
and I had practices till 9 o'clock every night. Went to school the next day, whatever it is. And I've always loved being that way, like being go, go, go. But like sometimes, especially finishing up senior year, it's just like I don't want to do the schoolwork. Like there's no point because I already have enough credits to graduate, and I'm just like it does take like it takes passion and like it takes like perseverance,
For
but
sure.
I think that we handle it pretty well because it's like I haven't ever not been busy. Like I've never chilled and not had like a hobby my entire
Yeah.
life.
That's
Yeah,
good. I
I
mean,
would
that,
say
that
the
brings a good work
same.
ethic for you.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Oh, absolutely. I would say too, like as out of all the things in our life, I think we can collectively agree that this is the least stressful. Everything else is like
Yeah.
a lot of, things that we don't
Because you're having
aren't.
so much fun doing it.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that's kind of what we can both say is that this isn't what we're stressed about.
Hmm.
So I mean that
Yeah,
leads
and
us to some other news, Kelly, and I know I don't know if you posted it officially like on your fan pages or anything like that, but I know on your personal pages you have recently accepted the offer from Texas A&M. So congratulations on being an Aggie. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm super excited. I've always from since when I was a kid, like we went to the Aggie vet camp. Well, I don't want to be a vet anymore, but we went to the Aggie vet camps and like we've just always like loved A&M, and ever since I was a kid, I knew I wanted to go off to college as it would be
hmm
called, and not really stay at home just because I am a free spirit and I love to socialize and I just could not stay at home and like be content. So
yeah.
I was really excited because A&M is not like it's about 2 hours away from us, so it's not too
Oh
far, but
wow.
it's like it's a good distance. So I'm really
Hmm.
excited, and I'm gonna pursue business there, and it'll be a
Oh,
new journey. I'm really excited.
And that'll be beneficial for you guys as well. But
Yes,
the other
very
thing,
much so.
yeah, and the thing I like too is like I never went away to college, but if I would have did something similar to what you're doing right there. Like I love that you're 2 hours away. Like you're far enough away that you're independent, but you're
hmm
still close enough where if you need to get home, you can get home. You know,
Yeah, and we
like
can continue wildfire as
Hmm.
I'm there because I can
yep,
drive down to record and drive back in the same day.
yeah, yeah,
And
very
I'm
cool.
guessing you're going to be able to create more contacts and resources
Mm.
when you're out there too.
The Aggie cult here in Texas is crazy.
Yeah.
Every turn, like corner you turn, someone's from A&M. Every bumper car sticker you see, the connections that the school creates are wild, and like that's why I've always wanted to go there because it's such an amazing
Hmm.
school.
Yeah, and I guess Kayla, does that mean you're going to allow Kelly to manage the business then, if she's going to go for
I
business?
also did a business degree, so
Oh, cool.
Oh, okay. All right.
Oh,
So does that mean we're going to fight it out? Is what you're saying?
collectively
we're
do
gonna
the
share
best
our
we
knowledge
can
from
from different universe.
endeavors.
Yeah, from different. Yeah, perfectly put.
Okay.
Yes.
Are
Very
you
cool.
doing like a college online school then, or
I go to U of H,
oh,
University of
okay,
Houston.
Okay.
Which
I
is
nice.
lit
I didn't even
because
know
they
that.
madness here right now, and that's so
Yes.
Yeah,
U
for
of H
sure.
in the past couple years they've become such an amazing, like especially the past couple years the school has become so like I was literally debating going there.
Oh,
It's such
wow.
a good school now, and the
Very
sports are
nice.
crazy. Everything about it is really fun.
Yeah, I missed that.
Okay.
I missed that, Kayla. I didn't know that you were going to U of H. That's
I
awesome.
know I
So,
don't talk about it really ever actually on my channels. I just don't. I don't know. But yeah, I do go there. I'm a sophomore about to be in my junior year.
Jeez.
So,
did you get to go to any
yeah.
of the sporting events or anything yet?
Did you get to go to March Madness?
Yeah,
I'm
right.
actually
Oh yeah.
I wish I was more involved. I'm definitely not like as involved in the spirit aspect of everything.
Hmm.
But I think that's great. Like I think anyone who gets involved in that's super cool. But I wish I could say like I'm so passionate about sports and I
Being a
love them.
cougar.
But I'm really just like not the most passionate about sports. So
It's funny though
uh,
because like on stage, like you find yourself very open and vulnerable, and you're what they say, an extrovert talking on stage. But I get the impression very much so in your personal life, you're very much an introvert, right?
Me, yes,
Yeah.
not Kelly, but I am definitely I call myself an introverted extrovert. I can kind of turn it on at any point, but yes, privately I would say I am more introverted.
It's so interesting.
Why
I,
is
I
that?
find that
Like,
I don't know. I find that so interesting with so many different performers of all types that
hmm
they're so private in there, but then all of a sudden when they get on a stage or I hear this a lot with wrestlers, they get in the ring or whatever, like all of a sudden their personalities come out and they're the biggest. I don't know how you can do that. That's amazing to me.
well, you know what, Troy, you and I both were in radio, and how many radio DJs did you meet that are really personable outside
Yeah.
of the studio?
Yeah.
They're,
Yeah, that's a
they're
good point. I mean, it's
sometimes
very
yeah,
yeah.
they're the most quietest and shy people that you ever want to meet, but then you get them in front of a microphone, and all of a sudden they're the hit of the town, you know. So yeah,
Just like
it's
Wildfire
amazing.
down there in Houston, the hit of the town, right?
Exactly. So, but yeah, I want to get back to you guys are doing this crowdfunding thing, and you know, you guys were pretty much. I almost felt like you were going into your closets and figuring out, okay, what can I pick out of here and put up here for sale that people are going to buy, and it was kind of amazing. Like, I think I saw like your cowboy boots. Somebody's cowboy boots were up for sale, and did they sold, right?
Yeah, and I think it's so fun because we like to sell things we've worn while performing, which is like
Yeah,
super cool that we do that. So like I've performed in those boots so many times, like at the rodeo at countless gigs. So it was really cool to like be able to sign them and sell them to someone, and that's gonna
that's
be like the
awesome.
person that gets it, that's gonna be like their prized possession. So it's really cool for
Yeah, that is
crowdfunding.
very cool.
What
So,
an
is
honor,
there?
right?
Yeah, I
What?
would say,
I mean,
is
it's
there
got to be like an
anything?
honor.
I mean, yeah, it's very
Yeah.
much so an honor, like
Yeah, it's
signing
crazy.
all this stuff, and
Yeah.
like picking out our performance outfits and seeing if they'll sell. Like it's super fun and it's
Hmm.
super cool.
Yeah, and also like because it's able to fund like a song or like a half a
Hmm.
song. It's amazing, and a lot of these outfits too are kind of like within our like little community. They're like kind of like iconic outfits, I would say, just
Hmm.
Hmm.
to the people. Like to some random person, it might not mean anything, but to like the supporters and the fans, they love it. And
Yeah.
I just love when people are like, "This is like the coolest thing ever! I can't believe I'm like holding what you were wearing in like this photo or whatever." It's cool.
That's so
Oh,
cool.
that is awesome. So, is there anything within your reach that you would like to just like maybe hold up for the screen, and maybe we can even like cut out this video and put it up for sale and see if
I'll go
anybody
live
will.
on Facebook right now and see if we can get any bids on like an
There you
auction or
go.
something.
Hello.
Are your parents
Going
going to be
home.
okay with that?
I guess
Office
everything's
chair.
got a price, right?
Yeah.
That's right. We can do a tour of the home of Wildfire.
Yeah,
You
selling
know.
all these
I mean,
pieces.
family portraits, everything's for sale, right?
That's right.
So, now I know that you guys also in your fan club, like you have different tiers and such.
Mhm.
Are you guys still doing that, or
Patreon, yeah, we've been
yeah,
really
that's what I was
focused
Patreon.
on
Yeah.
kind of pushing this campaign that we have going on right now
Mhm.
for our next album. But yeah, we still do Patreon. We have like a bunch of different perks on there. We've like met live with people, which is one of the perks. Like, you can meet live with us like once a month. You can
Oh,
get like
cool.
certain merch perks. So there's all sorts of stuff that we do. And I'm sure that once this campaign kind of finishes, we'll start to push that again.
Do you
Hmm.
guys have a timeline in mind, or is that totally dependent on how much funding you get?
Yeah, well, we do have a goal. Like on the website, you can see the goal. So I think we're
Okay.
just like trying to hit that so that we can get started on like the album and everything. And we
Yeah.
have, but
Do
finish
you have the
it.
majority? Do you have the majority of the material written for that?
Yeah, we have a lot of songs written at this point, but definitely we have some rights coming up that we're still passing around ideas and stuff. So
Oh,
lots of
cool.
fun stuff. Yeah.
So once you get this funding completed, like what's the goal and the plan to do with the money you raise?
Yeah, so we're doing our next album with it. And with like an album, it's not just the song recording, but people are able to just get involved in the possible like music videos that we have coming, all of the photo shoots that we're gonna have to do for the album, all the content that we're gonna have to film. Because I think from an outsider's perspective, if you if someone's like never been an artist or had to like kind of fund their own
Yeah.
endeavors before, they don't realize that every single thing is like just way more expensive than you could possibly imagine. So
Mhm.
for us, yeah, it's really helping us just be able to create another album that people can enjoy.
Yeah,
Some of the
definitely.
latest singles that you've released, are those going to be part of this album, or is this going to be totally brand new material?
I believe it's still kind of in the works, but I believe that one or two singles, yeah, are going to be a part of it. But a lot
Mhm.
of it's like new stuff, yeah.
That's awesome. So what
So,
is your, yeah, go ahead, Troy.
well, I was gonna kind of transition a little bit, and I know we talked about, Kelly and accepting her A&M participation, but Kayla, I know on the side you're really big into the health and the fitness and nutrition, and tell us a little bit about your day to day with that and how that looks and how often you're posting on Instagram, and because I know you kind of have your routine in there, like sometimes you have your like outfit picked out, and then here's your
Mhm.
skincare you use, and kind of tell us about that
Yeah.
a little bit.
Yeah, so I've been kind of I guess, going hard on social media on my own platform since about 2020. Like, I
Hmm.
really started doing it once the pandemic hit because I was so bored. And I just started filming workouts. I would film like what I was like eating and doing stuff because I've always been into fitness. But my whole like mindset, especially in this past year, I feel like if you've been watching my content from maybe like 2020 to present, it's very different than it used to be because now I'm like very into holistic health and like
Hmm.
nutrition, wellness, whereas I used to be like really, really into like lifting weights every single day and eating a ton of protein. Now I'm kind of just it's wellness is what it really is. So I'm filming like
Okay.
routines. I'm filming what I do to just boost my health and longevity day to day.
Mhm.
So I feel like that people really connect with that because it's really like long term health instead of just like
For sure.
working out and doing something to look a certain way. So I think it
Yeah.
resonates with maybe more people, especially like women,
Do,
young
do
women.
you, do you find yourself with your I guess we can call it your fame in that area, right? Do you find yourself getting any type of sponsorships or any of those companies reaching out to you, like and giving you free stuff because they know that you're pushing it on your social media?
Yes, I've been so blessed to just have some really really incredible mutually beneficial partnerships and sponsorships. One that I kind of just wrapped up. I was doing a year long campaign with Dick's Sporting Goods,
Mm.
just promoting like their Sports Matter program for youth children to get involved in sports. They have a
Mhm.
foundation. I've been able to work with like charities like UNICEF, which I always love doing something like that. But yeah, on like I guess you could say a smaller scale, I do lots of like just collaborations with brands that I believe in, and not just that will pay me,
Yeah.
you know what
Hmm.
I mean? To promote just like wellness products that I actually have. Like some of these products I promote, I've been using myself for years, and it's like amazing when they reach out and want to like work something out with me.
Mhm.
So I've been just, I always just say like opportunities everywhere. I've been so blessed. I'm so grateful for like everything in that area of my life. So I really hope and will continue to do it.
So tell me more about this holistic health. I'm curious on what that means and what that entails.
Yeah, yeah. So I believe maybe, I get so confused because I actually do like some podcasts, but I don't know if I talked about it on here. So if we have a listener from last time and I already talked about this, I'm sorry, but just to kind of give a little bit of a brief. Growing up, I did dance just like Kelly, and
Yeah.
I had like some eating problems that
Mhm.
kind of
Yeah, we did
stemmed from
talk
that.
about that.
Yes, okay, perfect. But just to kind of gloss over it if you're a new listener. Yeah, so
Sure.
I got into holistic health, which is just looking at health from like an integrative perspective, meaning like you're taking all these different aspects of your life into consideration. Like health isn't just how you eat, it's not just how you
Mhm.
work out, it's how you treat your mind, your soul, your body, like everything. So that's kind of what I'm promoting nowadays and just how I like live my life, honestly. Like what I post
Okay.
is just a reflection of like my life and how I'm living. So anytime something changes, I feel like you can see that in my content.
Yeah, definitely. So what are some of the things that you're doing to actually, work on that full body health, so to speak?
Yeah. So I'll post like videos of like I journal all the time. I
Hmm.
meditate, which maybe those practices a lot of people wouldn't think have to do directly with your health, but with holistic health, that's it kind of all comes in as
Sure.
one. Of course, like exercising. Nowadays, I do a lot of yoga. I do a lot of long distance walking. I integrate all different types of workouts. I still lift weights. I still do cardio, but I integrate everything.
Hmm.
With the food, unprocessed for the most part, just foods that fuel me rather than like foods that maybe will make you look a certain way. Like it's everything all in one.
Hmm. Gotcha. So, so Kelly, is this making you like hungry for a pizza or what? Like, what is it that you're doing in regards to health?
I mean, I do just about the same. I just don't really post about it
Oh, okay.
because really my vibe. I don't know. I just don't like. I, when I become hyper aware of like the food I'm eating, I just like all those problems re-arise. But
Mm.
Oh,
resurface.
gotcha. Yeah.
But I also just don't post that much on social media compared to Kayla. But I pretty much try to eat. I mean, I definitely eat a little bit worse. Like I'll have some candy every once in a while. Like when I'm watching a movie with my friends, we love to have movie nights. But
Uh-huh.
I try to eat. I try to cook most meals and eat like whole foods. And I run a lot. I'm on cross country at my school,
Oh, cool.
so I pretty much do the same. But I don't shy away from like whatever I'm hungry for. I basically eat. But like when I'm not on vacation or it's not the weekend, I don't really like go out. I try not to
Yeah.
go out as much and like be like, oh,
You're
I'm hungry
aware,
for it.
but just not strict with it, I guess, right?
So we're
Yeah.
not going to see
Gotcha.
those videos like we did like 3 years ago, where you guys are going to different fast food joints and trying their milkshakes out.
Maybe.
I mean, yeah, like I like Kelly, I guess, and I do post on socials, but I feel like we both can say we like intuitively eat, if you know what I mean, like eating what you're, so we don't,
Yeah.
like I personally, just like Kelly, don't cross anything off like the list. Like anything I can really eat at any given time, but just generally eating to like feel good.
Hmm.
But we may do one of those videos in the future. I don't know. It's
Yeah,
always up
exactly.
to the
Maybe there's a way to like give it a health kick somehow. Like I don't know. That would I don't know how you could
Yeah.
do that, but go to
This is
like
me
different.
dipping a celery stick into this milkshake.
Yeah, there you go. I don't
Yeah,
know.
there you go. But
So you know what, Howie? We went all this time, and I got to throw this out here real quick.
yeah.
We didn't even throw out their socials yet. This is Kayla, Kelly of Wildfire. Wildfire Sings on Instagram, and just look up Wildfire on Facebook. You'll find them there. And in
Hmm.
fact, if you follow them, which leads a good transition here, which I was going to say, and I even talked to you guys about this before we started recording. Like, feels like every 2 or 3 posts I see on Facebook, there's Wildfire. There's Wildfire. So how are you guys being like? How are you guys so active on Facebook? Like, how are you getting so many promotions and stuff?
Yeah, what is the secret to that?
Yeah, well, I think the secret to be realistic here is just developing a marketing strategy. That's everything. I think it's really a lot of practice and trial and error.
Mm,
Uh, and figuring out your ad situation. What are you doing to promote yourself? Because just posting, like, kind of not to get too technical, but I think it's interesting for people to hear this, to be honest. I would have
yeah.
loved
Yeah, I agree.
so, learn how to use Facebook ads, learn how to use the Instagram ads feature, learn how to do TikTok, Spotify, all of that. And right now, like we're really pushing hard on Facebook, but we used to do a ton of like TikTok stuff, and
Hmm.
we should be doing that for sure. We should be. But
Before it
think
gets shut down, right?
yeah, honestly, maybe we don't even need to at this point.
Yeah, right.
I don't know in a week if it'll matter. But yeah. So just figuring it out. You gotta take some courses. Honestly,
Okay.
watch some YouTube videos if you want to find something for free. I mean, there are so many resources out there, and it does take time for sure. But
Yeah.
and it takes time to figure out your ads, but that's how we do it, just to be 100% real. And yeah, you can't just like post one post and expect it to like go crazy. Like you really, once you're able to kind of build up these marketing strategies, you'll have an audience that like responds to your
Hmm.
content. But
Where did you find your biggest growth from the time you guys started on social media and stuff until now? Like, where was your biggest jump?
I would have to say maybe like a year ago, we really
Oh,
started to kind of pick up. Maybe 2 years ago. I kind of noticed, especially with like the stuff we're doing now and how engaged people are, like maybe a year or so ago. But
Hmm.
it was a lot because I mean we've been doing this for I think 6 or 7 years almost. So and
Yeah.
using Facebook from the beginning and using all of these platforms from the beginning that were
Hmm.
available. So it's a lot of practice and it takes time. So if you like are an artist listening, don't get stressed about your post not performing, and also don't let it deter you. I think is the biggest thing because
Right.
a post like if you are consistent with it and you're
hmm
posting all the time, it is bound that there's a post that's going to take off and it's
Hmm.
going to grow your account. Like it's inevitable.
and I think that's very similar to what we're doing with our podcast here too, Howie. Like, it's not just it's we have a consistent product every week,
Yeah.
and people know that there's going to be a new product out there every week. So
It
I think
does
it's
make
very
a
similar with
difference.
social media.
Yeah, it does make a difference because yeah, we're actually like top 5% in our category, and it's just amazing how from the time we first met to where we are now. In fact, when we first met, I think it was over 2 years ago. I think
Yeah.
maybe 2.5 years ago, and I'm still getting messages that are, or I'm still getting posts
Yep.
from
Our
some of the
original
stuff
post that
that
we had when we first had them on the show, we still get likes on that post from this to this
yeah,
day.
I mean,
Yeah.
like, and comments, and that kind of brings me to my next point because some of the comments kind of give me the creep vibe, and
Yeah.
and I'm just curious, like where do you guys stand when it comes to some of I mean,
Block.
some of the messages we get kind of like make me start to shiver a little bit. I can't imagine what private messages you folks are getting.
Yeah, we get some pretty scary ones considering we started this when we were 12 and like I just turned 18.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
really weird. Like it's my dad always says like he didn't know that there was this many like awful people and like creepy people in the world.
yeah,
Yeah,
right.
for sure. Especially when they're hidden behind a keyboard, right?
Yeah, exactly. So basically what has been our best friend over the past 7 years is that block button.
Yeah.
You can block any new accounts they create. If even
Yeah.
if they use
Love that
a different
feature.
email, a different phone number, you can block all their accounts. So I'm like, praise the Lord, because I be blocking every single post. I get
Yeah.
weird comments. I'm like, block, 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 block. 'Cause
And I'm
it's
not asking you to get too graphic, but like, what are some of like the creepiest messages you've received?
we can't state those, but
Right. How about a PG version?
Yeah, PG version of that. I mean, that to me, and I say this, or I mention this because I've said this before to you guys, but like we've known you before you were adults, and
and even now
and
that we're adults,
We even feel a little bit of we feel a little bit of
fatherly,
responsibility, like to
protective.
protect you as well. Yeah.
Yeah, and trust me, like I used to be a bounty hunter, and I used to like
Okay.
yeah, I used to hunt people that are probably doing things to you, or sending you these creepy messages, and honestly, when they come across our board that are geared towards you guys, I'm like,
Yeah,
I
I
feel
seen
like
one time. I deleted it right away. Like, yeah,
yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
thank you. I mean,
yeah.
I would say it's a little bit sad but true, but you do become immune to it. Okay,
Yeah.
desensitized, not immune.
I'm sorry, desensitized. And
There you
that's
go.
There you go.
asked to anyone, like, don't leave a weird comment. Don't do it, just please. But you become desensitized, and it's not a good thing. I'm not at all like saying that you
Right.
should. But collectively, and the stuff that I've done, and the stuff that like wildfire, especially wildfire, like Kelly said, block, and then as far it's kind of like if you're a woman on the internet, if you're a female,
Yeah.
because we've been getting these comments since we started this
12.
11 and 12.
Yeah.
So
See, that's ridiculous.
and the thing is if you're gonna, I guess, just stop posting because of these comments, it's kind of sad because there are a lot of like really supportive people out there and a lot of really good connections that you can make. So I wouldn't let it make you completely like go into your shell. But just know, like, be careful about the personal information you're putting out there. I feel like Kelly and I are definitely like very we're public, but we're also like very private. It seems like we're super public, but we are private.
Right.
Yeah, because we've also had in-person stalkers like that.
Yeah.
Oh.
I think one of them told me about this before. And
Yeah,
I
and we
remember.
had to take it to the police before, and like.
Oh yeah.
12, like,
Yeah.
and someone's like stalking you and saying all these weird things. So, and this like happens to almost every woman that's on the internet.
So,
and it's really sad, but for me, it's just like it's made me like get so like older men now. I'm just like because there's so many on Wildfire. Like I'm automatically like I have my guard up all the time.
Yeah, for sure.
Because you never know their motives. It's just crazy, and not even old men too. It's like men in their 20s when we're like 12 and 13, and I'm just like, this is so weird.
Yeah,
but it happens to almost every girl on the internet, and even some guys. So it's just like
it's not really. That's the way I kind of look at it, and what kind of helps me just block this out is that so many, like if you just go to the comments on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook especially, because people feel so confident on Facebook. I don't know what it is, but they will comment anything. And the comments are there's always men, specifically older men, commenting on these women's videos, and it's not just us, and I think that kind of comforts us a little bit. And
and when I post my friends and tag them, like they'll even go to my friends' accounts and like on there, and it's just like
man,
them about
that
them. So
that could be real scary stuff. I mean, who was it that we were talking to, Troy? Girl from Nashville. Yeah, Kendall Phillips, and and she was living in Nashville. She still lives in Nashville, but she actually, she almost got abducted. You have to hear her story sometime. She talks about it on our podcast, and she was just walking in the park in the middle of the daytime, and somebody in the white van drove up into the field, into the park, and tried to abduct her and throw her in the van.
Yeah.
Just like
okay. Wow.
That's
yeah. Then they were like, as far as she knows, they were actually human traffickers. Like they were going to take her.
Yeah. So, I mean, obviously, I'm sure you guys are aware of that kind of stuff, but just make sure you're really aware of your surroundings and.
It made me like the most cautious I've ever been. Like,
good.
At certain points, I was scared to go to like the grocery store because like Kayla once like some person tried to ask for her, some older man that was like in his 20s, but she was like 15. After her like said, "Oh, I know of your business. Like, can I get your number?"
It was just human trafficking.
Yeah, in our like local grocery store, and I was like, "Why do I have to?
Oh my gosh!
Why do I have to be scared to go on a walk?"
Yeah, and Kelly and I definitely, we do live in Texas, so
you're not. I was gonna say because it's not far to Mexico,
Yeah, but
where a lot of the trafficking goes.
Our laws, like we can carry here, and I don't want to be like get too into like all that kind of stuff, but Kelly and I definitely protect ourselves. That's what I'll just say.
That's what I like to hear.
At our events, we have a large presence of security. We have lots of officers, so luckily we do. Our whole entire band is males. We don't venture, so we stay safe. But as far as like going out individually, we protect ourselves. So
good to hear. Good to hear.
What is that like personally? Like when you get off the wall comments and stuff like that, or even obscene gestures or whatever in person, what does that do personally to A, your mental health, and B, to your like ability to have a relationship?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, in person, what I'll say is if a creepy person that's commented on her social media multiple times comes to one of our gigs and like tries to be like, I will fully like be to them. Like I will be rude, like, because I don't care. Like it's the vulnerable girls that are scared of these men that are the ones that get abducted and things happen to them. So what I've learned is like you have to be straight up, and like if you have to cuss them out, if you have to do whatever, you have to do whatever. And if
make a scene so that people notice who they are, right?
Yeah, and if you seem strong, and put on a strong face, then they'll walk away.
And to be clear, we are not of the belief, like, just to be clear, that all men have like ill intentions.
No,
we don't.
I get that.
You come to our gig and you're.
I hope not. I mean,
not like we've had like stalkers show up to gigs, and I'm like, oh,
that are
I'm
inappropriate, that say inappropriate things in person, that do inappropriate things in person. That is the people that we're saying. That, she would say that too. Not just like people that
Not
might say,
just old men.
you're so beautiful. Like, you can call us like beautiful, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
That's the problem. Okay?
Yeah, we're talking about like these out of pocket, like
Yes.
against the ratings of Spotify
Sure.
comments.
Yeah. Yes. So
So where does that take you with your mental health though too then? Like what like does it get tested by things like that?
Something I've struggled a lot with, actually, speaking of that, just to admit it, is like thinking that the majority of men have
Yeah.
bad intentions, like, and boys.
subconscious.
And not like boys my age have creepy intentions, but just bad intentions in general
Yeah.
because of the way, especially on TikTok, I've seen men and boys make comments on girls'
Yep.
videos, and they
Yep.
don't think it's creepy, but they think it's like funny, and they'll be like say these
Yeah.
really inappropriate things, like, "Oh, I want to do this to her, I want to do that to her," and like think and like laugh with their friends. So
Yep.
that has happened to us, of course, before by like older men leaving comments, whatever. But like it's just made me struggle to like trust boys and like think that they have good intentions besides like the ones that are my best friends. Like
Right.
Mhm.
TikTok and especially has just created such a bad reputation of boys
Mhm.
because of the things they put on the internet and like think that there are no consequences for them. So that's affected my mental health, and the fact that sometimes I feel like all of the progression we've made as women in this world is just set back by a single TikTok by someone commenting like, "Oh, I wonder what it looks like," just to
Right.
try to be graphic, like, "I wonder what it whatever." Like,
Yeah.
commenting that just makes me like it makes me degrade myself so much, and like all this progress we've made
Yeah.
as women is just like set back, and like all the Women's History Month jokes when they're like,
Oh yeah.
"Wish I couldn't."
Yeah.
And even girls do it, like they're like, "Oh, I wish
Yeah.
I couldn't vote again," and I'm just like, "What?"
What?
Well, I mean, you brought up a good point.
To work, like, I just want to marry rich, and like that's fine, like, sure, it's funny, whatever, but I just feel like to my mental health a lot, it makes me feel like less strong as a woman. Like, no one takes me seriously. Like, The Man by Taylor
yeah.
Swift is my song in life. Like, The Man by Taylor Swift is my life.
Nice.
I think what Kelly's kind of just like go off what she's saying, like just feeling very objectified, and maybe in your head you think like, okay, like people definitely respect me, but then you realize that maybe they don't, and again,
Maybe
not
they fully don't.
and not every
Yeah.
single, but more than there should be. I guess is where I'll leave it. More than you would expect.
And feeling
Well,
like,
and yeah, it kind of gives you it gets you into that rut, that mindset where you're automatically thinking that you're thinking the worst, because it's almost like you have to think the worst to protect yourself.
yeah,
Yeah, you have
Pretty
to have your.
much.
I would say maybe not thinking the worst always, but keeping the guard up. I think keeping the guard up for
Yeah.
sure, for sure.
That's why the second part of my question was like, how does it affect your relationship and your dating and stuff like that? Because that, Kelly, you even brought it up. Like, you have a hard time trusting guys now. Like, do they have the right intentions? Do they really want to go out with me for the right reason? Like, so
yeah.
that's
And the answer with high school boys is probably not. That's why I've like stayed away. Like, there's just no point in dating in high school because boys don't mature until the age of about 27. And I feel so much more mature than everyone around, like all the boys around me. So
Yeah.
I don't want to date them. Like, they can be my friends, sure, but like definitely in relationships, like high school boys, like never expect anything good from them.
Yeah.
And I'm sure y'all know it. Y'all were high school. My dad was a high school boy.
Expect
And
the
now
bare
he's
minimum, if
yeah,
even.
like, and now he's the best man I've ever met, my dad. But like at one point, he was a high school boy. So.
Yeah. Our minds definitely were in the gutter in the high school for sure.
Yeah, but as far as Kayla, like, I think it's very interesting because she's kind of at that age of like almost 20 where like the boys are like very questionable.
And-
It's like,
and-
are they mature or are they faking it all?
Yeah, because you'll think, like you'll think like maybe, okay, 23, okay, maybe no. Still mentally 18.
Still 18.
Yeah.
But if there's something you learn from Taylor, it's good songwriting material, right?
It is, and that's why we have so many like songs.
Yeah,
on.
right.
Do it for the plot.
Yeah.
I think that's what we say.
Well, I'll go out with this guy one time just so I can get a song out of it, right?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. was gonna say, I don't know. If I were any of Taylor's boyfriends, though, I would be concerned about dating her just because I'm like, I know what's gonna happen now.
Yes.
Yeah, she's
So,
an icon. I'm so excited.
yeah.
To see her in
Yeah, we're
concert.
both going to see her on the Eras tour. So
Oh,
You-
cool.
That's fantastic. My daughter wanted to go so bad, and we just could not get tickets. We tried so hard
Yeah,
everywhere.
I waited in the queue for 10 hours. And then I
Whoa.
walked out and I had to wait again, and I was fully in tears. Like, this is the most important concert of my life. And my dad was waiting in the queue for her and him. 'Cause
yeah.
the night that Taylor comes here is the night of my prom, so I'm going to the one in Dallas.
Oh,
And
okay.
Oh, wow.
a different queue, and he got kicked. It was literally so chaotic. Like, it was
Yeah.
so scary.
It was
But luckily, mine
yeah.
was with SeatGeek, and SeatGeek did a much better job than Ticketmaster of
Yeah,
like.
I heard it was a fiasco.
Yeah, SeatGeek was way better, but still,
Hmm.
it was so stressful. Like, the entire day was so stressful.
It's going to be a really cool show. Like, I've seen bits and clips of it already. I think she started out in Arizona or something, or Vegas.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm trying not
Yeah.
to spoil it, but like, I have to watch them. She sent me my like VIP box today, and it was so cool. I'm so
Yeah, it's really cool. And then I saw that she's doing, she has an acoustic set that she's doing kind of in the middle, and she's doing a different song on every show so that it's not the same. So I thought that was really cool. I thought that's really a neat touch so that everybody feels like they saw something different that the other people didn't. So.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What an icon. She's amazing.
She is. I was actually watching like a little footage on her where she was showing how she's does some like behind the scenes stuff. Like, for example, how she gets from one part of the stage to the other. She actually is on they have a track system
Yeah, I
underneath
saw
the
that.
stage.
The
She's
clip-
on her back,
The
and they
stage.
literally like push her through. And yeah, it's like a train under the stage.
On,
Yeah,
on
there's
TikTok.
a clip of her fully like diving headfirst into the stage of like her swimming, and I'm just like, what's going on right now? Like, how are
Yeah.
we doing this?
Mhm.
That's insane to think. Like, I mean, I think I can't remember who it was. I think it was Alice Cooper or something back in the day. He's like, what do you think of all this money you get just to perform up there for an hour and do a show or whatever? And he's
Mhm.
like, that's where you're wrong. He
What
said the other,
money?
the other 23 hours is what I'm getting paid for. The
Yeah.
hour that I'm on stage is where I'm having fun. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So
And her show is like her set list is like 3 hours. I don't know.
yeah.
I'm worried she's gonna like get sick before my show.
Oh, don't say that.
Oh
Don't say
no.
that.
Oh no.
I think people also have to remember that these shows, like they think these artists are getting paid so much money, but I think we have to remember these shows, like at her level, cost so much money to put on.
and all the dancers and
It's
all the
crazy.
Yeah.
And not just that, like Ticketmaster and stuff, and how much they're getting out of it. Because my buddy just said, I can't remember who he said he was going to see. It was an older band. I can't remember. Darn it, it's slipping my mind. But anyway, the tickets were only like $20 or something like that. But he said by the time Ticketmaster and everybody had all their fees in there, they were over $70.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
going to the
crazy.
rodeo, like the tickets on like Access, Ticketmaster, Vivid Seats, whatever, to SeatGeek, like the fees are like the fees for my Taylor Swift ticket were like $300.
Oh my,
Wow.
that's insane.
Yeah,
That's
and I
insane.
paid them because it's Taylor Swift, but I would
Sure.
never pay that much for another concert ever. And like,
Did
I
you hear it all before?
what? Oh no, I've
Did you?
never.
I
been
have.
there. So
Yeah.
You did.
I paid for floor seats right next to the stage, like I saved up, and that's super exciting. But like, I could not believe the fees, the
Yeah.
$300 fees that they tacked on.
Yeah.
My daughter saw her on the Reputation tour.
Yeah, I
Oh
saw
my gosh, I'm
Reputation.
so sad I didn't go to Reputation.
It was
Yeah.
amazing. That was at the time, like it was my favorite album. So
Yeah.
I was
It's
so
my
excited.
favorite album right now, I think.
Okay, I think I'm in my Lover era right now. I
Yeah.
love the album.
It's funny because my daughter does TikToks and she'll like every once in a while she'll do her top 10 Taylor albums or whatever it is. And like right now, I think she actually has like Folklore or something at the top.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
But Reputation was her favorite forever, and now Reputation's like fourth. But then I'm sure like next month it'll be something totally different.
It changes every month. It changes.
But it's a perfect name for her tour eras, right? Because like she has gone through so many different eras. It's amazing. Like,
Yeah, and what's crazy is we were talking about how we like months before she announced this tour, like, oh my gosh, when's Taylor Swift gonna go on tour? Because she was announcing the release of Midnights, and I was like, she has to tour, but like, I hope so badly that she does a greatest hits tour,
Mhm.
and then it comes out, and I'm sitting in school, and I'm like, holy, like that, she literally did a greatest hits, like I
Yeah.
manifested this into existence.
I mean that's amazing to think, a 3-hour set, and that's probably not even a quarter of her material. Like,
Oh,
Yeah.
it's
She's only
not.
singing one song from Speak Now. It's painful.
oh really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's okay.
I just find it interesting that girl grew up 30 minutes from our house.
I know.
I know, yeah,
An
that's
icon,
right.
a legend.
Until what? Until about the age of what? 12. Then she moved to Nashville, I think.
Yeah, something like that. She moved at a really young age, that's for sure.
Yeah,
So, but
that's
yeah.
wow. What a story. I mean, just like I said
Mhm.
earlier, just what a legend. Like, and
Wow.
she's only what 33 maybe.
33.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
and she's already like a legend. Like
Through
it's
so
insane.
much too. It's just crazy to see. Like I thought before Reputation came out that like because she went into hiding from
Yeah.
2016 to 2019. I thought like Taylor was just gone. Like she was gone. Like all we have is all we have. And then she wrote that Reputation letter. We literally analyzed it in junior year English. I remember the Reputation letter because it was so well written. And then she came out with this album, and it's just like
Yeah.
she's back. She's
And
back from the dead.
What is it? Look what you made me do. Is that where she says on there, the old Taylor's dead or whatever?
Yes.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, it was a totally different reincarnation. I did not see that coming.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's the best comeback ever.
And
really.
like, I mean, we really did grow up like with her
Yeah, like-
music, like truly.
sure.
Yeah, you did.
It came out in 2006. I was born in 2005. I remember singing it. I know, so late. I was
No, not just that though, but that's just incredible to me that her career, as
Yeah.
short as it seems to us, has spanned your whole life.
Yeah.
I would be jamming like our song is the same as Screen every single day, and I'd be like, should have said no. Like I've known every single album. Like we've grown up with her,
Mhm.
and like there's
Yeah.
a speech where she's talking about how that's her only wish for her fans, and like she's done it. Like
Yeah.
all of her generations of fans have grown up with her. My dad even like is a big Swiftie.
Mhm.
I mean,
Mhm.
how can you be? I mean, she's done everything. I mean,
Yeah, people that hate Taylor Swift, it's a trend. Like
It's a trend. It is.
Is it the new Nickelback
yeah, I was
thing,
gonna
or-
say it's just popular to hate her at this
Yeah.
point.
So I mean, and I think we might have touched on this maybe even the first time we talked to you, but I don't quite remember. Like, she had to be obviously a big influence and a big reason that you guys got into music. I mean, obviously, I know your dad was a huge musician too, and he got you guys introduced early, but she had to be a big inspiration, right?
Yeah, I think Taylor Swift was definitely like and Justin Bieber, which is weird to say
Oh,
now.
wow.
Like we would listen to like Our World or Baby or whatever it was,
Mhm.
and kids, and Taylor Swift and Miley Cyrus. Like I remember Butterfly Fly Away from Hannah Montana the movie was like when she wrote that, I was like, I have to write songs. So
Yeah.
like the trilogy of Miley Cyrus, not Jonas Brothers, but them too,
Yeah.
but Bieber and Taylor Swift, like the biggest pop stars of our generation. It's just crazy because they inspired me to start writing songs, and now my music is completely different from any of theirs, but still like they are the OGs.
Yeah, because I mean, we grew up watching Hannah Montana, and that was a huge influence.
And it's
I
crazy
think,
because like
too.
now my life has like turned into Hannah Montana. Like
Yeah.
I go to school, live a normal life, and then I like get on stage. And all my friends always say this, like Hannah Montana, Hannah Montana. But it's so cool to like see that manifest into my real life.
So is
Yeah.
Kelly actually your real name?
Yeah. It is.
Are you sure?
Now,
What do you? I mean, how about her too though? Miley Cyrus. Look at the transition that girl made. Like,
Iconic comeback.
well,
I
that kind of
mean-
reminds me, like, speaking of transitions, like when it comes to you girls, I mean, you were like, I mean, strictly country in a way, and then you do throw in some of that classic rock, you know, from your dad's era and such. And like, do you see yourself kind of trending in the same direction like a Taylor Swift? Because when I hear your music, I don't automatically think this is country music.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think that it's with us, and I think that a lot of artists these days, genres are relevant. They are
Very
relevant.
blurred, right? Very blurred.
Yeah.
So blurred because we have songs, you know, we'll put out a song that's like really heavy on the rock stuff. The next one, it's kind of, you can like see the country roots coming out, like
Mhm.
Ballad, like,
pop ballad, that kind of thing. So it's really blurred, and we have songs even like in the future that we've been working on that still do have those roots, and songs that are completely different. So I just think for us, like a lot of other artists these days, we don't really stick to a genre.
Okay.
Mhm.
I mean,
Yeah.
now there's even a pop country genre, and who would have thought that was a thing? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
that's-
right.
Mhm.
I mean, there's so many artists falling into that wagon right now with the pop country. I mean, there's even a station on my cable box that's listed pop country. Like, and
Oh,
that's,
wow. Yeah.
so. I mean, it's a thing. It's a thing.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Wow. As always, girls, it's
Wow,
a lot of
50
fun
minutes
chatting
already?
with you.
That went
Yeah, I
by.
know. Time flies when we're having fun. So,
So let's throw your stuff out here again real quick, and we're going to hear your latest release, which is just friends. But before we do that, look these girls up on Facebook. Just look up Wildfire. And is that, you guys separate it with 2 words? I think you do, right?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, it's
I
2
thought
words.
so, yeah. And then on Instagram, it's Wildfire Sings. So look these girls up. They're a fun follow. And once you follow them, you'll see plenty of their content. It's always there. They're always on social media.
Mhm.
And we wish you the best. Do you got anything coming up that we need to know about?
Yeah, we have, lots of new material coming out. So make sure you follow because you want to keep up. Just really exciting things, really exciting things. So
All right. Let's
Yeah,
hear.
and
let's
for
get
the
these
and
girls
for the right
supported.
price,
Yeah.
they will sell the couch that they're sitting on.
honestly, it's not, we gotta get it right, but
All
For the right
right.
price, Troy and I will move it for you guys. So,
When we get our podcast studio, it can be our guest couch, right?
there you go. There you go.
So yeah, give these girls a follow. And Howie, in the meantime, let's listen to Just Friends.
Yeah, definitely. And tune in next week. Stay tuned.